I assure you, in 2020, Rotary in India will be a superpower because of presidents like you and governors like Vinod and Ramesh and all of you. So, please understand that you are all very fortunate. You are all extremely lucky. You are going to assume leadership of your clubs at a time when Rotary India is #1 in the world and Rotary Asia is the superpower of Rotary. And most importantly, you will probably be the first set of presidents who will give a polio-free world. Next year, I'm sure, if everything goes well, we will have 0 polio cases at the end of next year. You will be the first set of governors and presidents who will give a polio-free world. Can you find a better time to become a president, club president than this? I think you're all extremely fortunate Rotarians. Friends, look at this picture. We have Neil Armstrong there, Sir Winston Churchill, John Kennedy, Margaret Thatcher. Can you see something? Can you say something which is common about all these big people, big shots? They're all Rotarians. I heard a lady saying that. Who was that lady? Please give her a big hand. They're all Rotarians, my dear friends. When John F. Kennedy, Margaret Thatcher, Woodrow Wilson, these are all people who are Rotarians. And next year, 13, 14, you are going to be leaders of a great organization like Rotary, where such world leaders were members of. Again, something which you must be very, very proud of. Now I come to the point, how to be a successful president. Please believe me that it's not like an IIT entrance exam where you can go buy a book or take a course to get into IIT or to a medical college. To be a successful president, you have to learn so many things which comes to you only by experience. So the first thing, to be a successful president, you have to be a successful leader. Now when you talk of leadership is different. For example, leadership in business and industry is different. You know, if you are a business leader, you know, this is the yacht which Mukesh Ambani owns. Costs 20 million euros. It is parked at Breach Candy in Mumbai, and you know, he can relax in this yacht and make a cell phone call to all his MDs and chairmen, tell them what to do, everything will be done. This leadership in business is easy. The quality of political leadership in our country, the less you talk about it, the better. You know, the scientist Albert Einstein, inventor of theory of relativity, he said, somebody asked him, what is the difference? You know, we should know what is the difference between Einstein and our politicians. Einstein said that everything is relative, whereas our politicians say that relative is everything. For them, you know, they made ulta of what Einstein said. So let us not follow this. This is not leadership. If you want to know what leadership you should not follow, think of these guys. We will never do anything what they are doing. In fact, I picked up this photograph in Andhra Pradesh. You know, I don't know whether they meant it really or it is a typography. They declared their chief minister is a horrible chief minister. And this poster was made by their own party. So, you know, they are making a confession that their chief minister is the most horrible thing. Now, come to leadership in Rotary. Friends, leadership in Rotary, believe me, in Rotary, you lead by example. That's the only way you can lead in Rotary. You have to lead by example. If you want your fellow Rotarians to contribute to the foundation, 1st of July 1st, you make your contribution. Not that it gives any guarantee that they will all make because you made, but at least there is a 25% chance. They will say, okay, this president of mine, he has made a contribution. I think I should do at least something for the foundation. Now, take our president for 13-14, Ron Burton. He led by example. I will tell you how. On the 1st of July of this year, July 12, he wrote to all the 532 governors in the world who are taking office in 13-14. He wrote to all the incoming directors like me, all the trustees, and said, let us make a contribution to the Rotary Foundation before we go to the International Assembly in January. Now, what is the usual thing that happens in Rotary? I know some presidents. I said, why don't you give something to the foundation this year? Sir, I am the president from 1st July, sir. I'll make my contribution next year. As if, this year there is no Rotary Foundation. I mean, that is our normal attitude. But Ron said, let us all make a contribution this year before we take office. And my dear friends, you will be surprised if I tell you, and it's not an easy job, tracking 534 governors. And when we ended up in the International Assembly, in fact, the last 4 governors elected to make the contribution were from India, and Ron was after me. But on the day the assembly was inaugurated, every single governor elected in the world had made a contribution which totaled to a whopping $750,000. $750,000 to the foundation, and Ron gave us this pin which says first class. He gave us all this pin and said, we will be the first class of leaders who have ever made a contribution before we took our respective offices. Then he extended this to the president-elects, and he said, if all of your members make this, then I will give you also the red pins to your members, your club presidents, and today it has reached $2.8 million. That for you, my dear friends, is leadership by example. Right? It was the famous anthropologist Margaret Mead who said, never doubt the ability of one man or one woman to change the course of history. Very often I have seen in my district, in several districts, club presidents telling me, sir, I am a president of a club with 12 members. What can I do? Sometimes they say, I am president of a 200-member club. The other guys won't let me do anything, sir. What can I do as one man? Don't forget that you, as one person, as the president next year, can change the history and geography of your club. You can change the destiny of your club. Now, like Gandhiji said, when they all started their life, Gandhiji was a timid young man. Nobody knew Gandhiji till somebody threw him out of a railway compartment. Abraham Lincoln was an ordinary lawyer and Mother Teresa was a humble nun. But during the rest of their life, you saw that they became the greatest leaders in their life. So you can also become one like that. Now, let me now take you over to a real incident that happened during Second World War, which changed the course of history of not only the war, but the history of the world. Pearl Harbor. During the Second World War, the entire South Pacific fleet of America was harbored in Pearl Harbor. Nearly some 600 to 800 ships, about 25 to 30,000 soldiers were there, and the Japanese attacked America, the American Pacific Fleet, without any notice. They destroyed the entire Pacific Fleet. More than 20,000 American, Navy men were killed. Entire Pacific Fleet was destroyed. Americans were up in arms, and the president of US wanted to retaliate. He wanted to bomb Japan, but his admirals told him, no sir, we can't do that because our fighters, our planes do not have the range. We do not have the range to reach Japan. It's far beyond our reach. Now, I will share with you what this president of US told his generals and how he changed the course of the war by his personal example. Just listen to this.
Now I wonder every hour of my life why God put me into this chair. But when I see defeat in the eyes of my countrymen, in your eyes right now, I start to think that maybe he brought me down for times like these when we all need to be reminded who we truly are, that we will not give up or give in.
Mr. President, with all respect, sir, what you're asking can't be done.
Get back, George. Get back. not tell me it can't be done.
You know, this guy, polio victim, he stood up on legs which he did not have, and he told his generals, don't tell me there is anything impossible in this world. And the rest, my dear friends, is history. The Americans found a way to drop the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and Japan surrendered. The Second World War came to an end. I'm just sharing this with you just to tell you that one man or one woman can change the history of mankind by personal example. Let's not change the mankind. Let's at least change our area, our city, or our village, our town, or our Rotary Club's area of operation by setting an example. It was Clem Renault, past president of Rotary International, who said, Rotary takes ordinary people like you and me and gives us an extraordinary opportunity to do more with our lives than we ever thought possible. Such an opportunity is awaiting each and every one of you on 1st of July 2030. Each and every one of you will get an opportunity, believe me, which you will never get in your life again. It was the French philosopher Charles Negrel who said, I am not the only one, but I am still one. I cannot do everything, but I can still do something. And what good I can do, by the grace of God, I shall do. Because I shall never pass through this way again. That last sentence, I shall never pass through this way again. Please write it in a diary or a calendar which you are going to look at every day. Every day morning, look at this and remember, you will never pass through this way again. You will be a president only once. And what you should do or you can do, you must do, because God will never give you this opportunity again. So please remember this, what Charles Negrel said. It's a very, very important thing which you must read every day. Now, to be a successful president, one of the most important characteristics that you need is vision. You have to look far ahead and see what you want to do. Do you want your club to be old-fashioned and antiquated like this? Or do you want your club to be modern and colorful, where everyone wants to go for makeup or for, joining the club or whatever? Do you want your club to be dull and dying like this, like which, most clubs in many of the districts are? Or do you want your club to be beautiful and attractive? If the 10 of the top people in your city or town wants to join Rotary, they may say, I want to go to that club. That's a great club. So that's in your hands. This is the vision you have to have. And do you want your club to be inactive and struggling? Like, many clubs, I know clubs which don't even meet. They meet only twice a year. They meet for installation, then they meet during governor's visit, third time they meet to elect the next president, that's all. Do you want to be like that? Or you want to be most active and the best in your district, so that at the end of the Rotary year, Vinod Bansal will call you in the awards function and give you the award for the best project you did and for all the good things you did. It's your decision, it's your vision. And now is the time, my dear friends, to decide, because you still have 2 months. Believe me, comes 1st of July, you'll have no time at all. You'll be busy attending the installation of your fellow presidents, attending the governor's visits, fundraising for your own club, your weekly meeting, fixing up the speaker. And believe me, you will be so busy, you will have no time to plan. And if you start planning after 1st July, you will go nowhere. So this is the time to decide your vision and plan. And of course, you need a good team, because nothing can be done by you individually. And believe me, every club has 3 types of Rotarian. The first one, of course, the good Rotarian, you have no problem with him. He will answer your phone calls, come to your meetings, come to your projects, pay subscription on time, give money to foundation. There is usually the second type, the dead Rotarian. Approximately 50% of membership in most clubs are like this. He won't answer your phone calls, he won't pay your subscription. Even to just collect your subscription, you may have to go to court and file a civil suit against him. These kind of members exist. But even these guys you can manage. The third type, the deadly Rotarian, whatever you come up with, usually past presidents belong to this category. Whatever idea you come up with, you will say, I'll get that great singer from Mumbai and I'll arrange a musical program and I'll raise money for a project. Come on, yeah. You think you're the first guy to do it? You think we have all not tried? All these things won't work. Whatever you come up with, you will pour cold water over. But don't worry, we have to still manage and we have to carry on. Let's welcome Rotary International Director Shekhar Mehta and Rashi ji. Welcome, let's give a big hand to Shekhar. And of course, there is this type, the fourth type, troublemakers. Not only they won't do anything, they will instigate others to give you trouble. Usually past governors belong to this category, including me. That includes me as well. In fact, recently I've been to US and we give various explanations to PDG. That American colleague of mine was my batchmate. He said, PTP in my country, if I don't attend or respond to the invitations, they say I'm past dead and gone. And if I go to every dinner invitation I get, I'm called a permanent dinner guest. But recently they've invented something which really, I'm feeling very sad. I said, what? He said, they have started calling PDG as previously decent gentlemen. And I was very upset about it. Anyway, friends, please understand, you will have all these types in your club. Good Rotarian, bad Rotarian, the guy who gives you trouble, past president, past governors. But you will have to go and build a team. You will have to find a way to get around all of them. They are the past presidents in the club. They are like your mother-in-law. You can't get rid of them. You can't wish them away. You just can't wish them away. You will have to find a solution. You will have to work around them. I mean, it's a very difficult task, believe me. But you will find a way as you go along. Then we come to goal setting. I don't want to go into great detail because I'm sure it will be dealt with in your group sessions. But what kinds of goals will you set? I'll just show you one visual which explains everything. When Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, he thought he was the first guy there, but there was already a Malayali there with a tea stall. Malayalis are enterprising guys. You go to Dubai or London or Africa, they'll be there. They'll be the first to be there. So your planning or your goal should be like that. Your goal should be to be first. Whatever you do, you must say, this must be the best. What has been done in the club before must be second. You must improve, because in Rotary we always believe that every year we do better than the previous year. And we are very happy about it. If it is a business, you have to worry if your competitor is doing better than you, but not in Rotary. See, you can see that Ramesh Agarwal will be very happy when Vinod does very well next year. Vinod will be extremely happy when Sanjay Khanna does very well next year. So work towards that. And Vinod again was talking about attitude. Now let me tell you a small truth. If you take the 27 letters of the English alphabet and say A equal to 1, B equal to 2, hard work adds up to only 98%. If you think you can be a successful president just by hard work, sorry, that's only 98. But if you have knowledge, some people think if I'm a knowledgeable Rotarian, I'll be successful. That's only 96%. Love, if you can just deal with your fellow Rotarians with love and affection, that's only 54%. And I've heard people say, he's a very lucky president. There is no such category as a lucky president in this world, believe me. Most presidents are unlucky presidents. So luck only adds to 47%. Then what is it? Money? If you are a rich guy, you can become successful. Money adds to 72% only, and leadership adds to 89%. So it is attitude, my dear friends, which adds to 100%. It is our attitude towards life and at work that makes our life 100%. If you change your attitude, you will be successful. Change your attitude and you will change your life and also change the life of your community. Now look at this picture. Look at this picture. The first attitude change you should do is be flexible. This World Trade Center towers would have been, had they been flexible, they would not have fallen. No. When the terrorist planes came and hit them, they would have survived, they would still be there. So you should be like that. Be flexible. If you say, I am the president, some presidents in my district, actually, they think they are presidents of India. The moment the collar is heard, who are you? Man, I am the president. That's how they talk. If you do that, you are gone. You have to be flexible. First, develop the most flexible attitude. Like Gandhiji says, you must be the change you wish to see in this world. Now, humility. You see A.R. Rahman here, and when he got the Oscar award, he could have said, I am a one-man industry. Whether it is Western music, classical music, in India, Tamil, Hindi, all languages. He is number one. He is a one-man industry. He could have said, Oscar, they are bound to give it to me. Who else could they have given? It's only me, nobody else. He didn't say that. You know what he said when he got the Oscar award? In Tamil, he said, Ella Pugalum Iraivanuke. That translates to all glory to God. My success is entirely God's gift. That, my dear friends, is the attitude you should have. Humility, even at the height of glory. Now you see two pictures. In the first picture on the left, there is a 85-year-old Prime Minister falling at the feet of a 60-year-old woman. And on the right, you see a 90-year-old lady falling at the feet of a 40-year-old politician. Now you decide what you want to be. The left picture will give you more success. And friends, it was Mark Twain, the famous American writer, who said, great things happen when it does not matter who gets the credit. This is very, very, very important for you as a president. I have seen in many clubs, 25 of the members will join together, do a wonderful project, and when there is an award to be given, the president will go stand alone. He will not allow anybody else to come, and he will only take a picture with the governor or whoever. This is very common. If you do that for your next project, nobody will come. You will have to do it by yourself. So please remember to share glory. It's very important. Look at this picture. You all know this picture. You have seen it. Something very obvious about it.
Yes.
Somebody can tell me?
MS Dhoni is not there.
Dhoni is not there. See, when India won the World Cup, for any professional cricketer like Dhoni, the greatest achievement you can ever have in your life is to win the World Cup. And at that great moment of his life, height of glory, he was not even in the picture because it's a team game. 11 of those guys won the cup for him. So he said, you go and be in the picture, I will be in the background. And that's why after that India became the #1 test playing nation in the world because of Dhoni's this attitude. He shared glory. So please remember, as a club leader, please share glory. Problem solving. You will have plenty of problems. There is no president without a problem. And two things you should be. Do not be afraid of failures. Unless you try something, you will never reach anywhere. And second thing, most important, do not be afraid of critics. People will criticize you, starting from the lunch or the tea that you gave, quality of the lunch or tea, everything you will be criticized. Winston Churchill, when he was standing for a parliament election, he gave a big speech, a political speech, and got on. And a lady came to him and said, she was from the other party, opposite party. She said, Sir Winston, I hate your mustache and I hate your politics. So immediately Winston said, don't worry, my dear young lady, you are unlikely to come into contact with either. Immediately he said. And some other lady again said, Winston, if you are my husband, I will put poison in your tea. Immediately he said, if you are my wife, I will gladly drink it. So, please be ready to face criticism and do not get cowed down by criticism. Because let me tell you, if there is no criticism, you have failed. If you are of any consequence, if you are doing a good job, 100% there will be criticism. Every day when I get up, by the end of the day, if I have not heard that 10 people have criticized me, I feel very bad. I feel I have become insignificant in this world. Nobody is bothered what I am doing. I am a failure. So do not worry about criticism. Once somebody asked Tata, J.R.D. Tata, they said, sir, what is the one reporter asked him, what is the secret of your success? Tata said, right decisions, and he just walked. This lady followed him and said, sir, how did you take right decision? He again said one word, he said, by experience, and he continued to walk. She followed him and again said, sir, please tell me, how did you get the experience? He said, wrong decision. Tata said, I made wrong decisions, I got the experience. So even if Tata, J.R.D. can make wrong decisions. You and I will certainly make some of them. Don't worry about them. Unless you make wrong decisions, you will never learn to make right decisions. In life and boxing, defeat is not declared when you fall down. It is declared when you refuse to rise up. Remember that. And learn to overcome obstacles. I have two more things to talk to you about. The one is, first thing is delegation. It was Theodore Roosevelt, former president of US, said a good leader is intelligent enough to pick good men to get what he wants done and has enough self-restraint to keep away while they do it. Very important. You have to delegate. There was a 1-hour interview on CNBC with Warren Buffett, the second richest man in the world, who has donated $31 billion to charity. Following are some of the very interesting aspects of his life. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, owns 63 companies. He writes only one letter each year to the CEO of these companies, giving them goals for the year. He never holds meetings or calls them on a regular basis. Moral of the story is assign the right people to the right job. He has given his CEOs only 2 rules. Rule number 1, do not lose any of your shareholders' money. And rule number 2, do not forget rule number 1. Very simple. He said, do not forget rule number 1. So that means set goals and make sure people focus on them. And of course, comes action. You know, we have talked about goal setting, vision, planning. It was Albert Schweitzer who said, service is a privilege to be sought and not a burden to be avoided. You take any club, fellowship dinner, 110% will be the attendance. You know, even guests will come. Next day morning at 9 o'clock, you have a medical camp. Other than the president and secretary, one more Rotarian comes, it's a great club. So you have to remind these guys that service is a privilege to be sought, like Albert Schweitzer said. It's not a burden to be avoided. To tell you quickly, the board of directors this year, Yash and Shekhar, and the rest of the board have come out with a regional membership plan for India. To tell you in brief, we want to be 160,000 Rotarians by the time I laid out my office. And my dear friends, it's not easy. It's not easy because one upon one, we want 10% net growth even after allowing for attrition. And there is so much competition. You know, today you have Lions Club, you have YMCA, you have Red Cross. Everybody wants good people to be in their club. So, if you want the right member in your club, if you want the good leaders of the society to join your club, you have to run faster than the competition, like this. You will be like this president who went and saved the prospective Lions member and brought him into Rotary. Please remember this. We have to grow and we have a 10% plan. Please. And this is, I'm not joking. There is competition out there. I mean, you can get, take the telephone directory, get some 100 members. That's not what we want. We want the real leaders of society into Rotary. If you want to do that, there is competition out there. Please make sure you get the best members in your club. Now I come to almost the end of my presentation. I want to talk to you about communication. You know, if you want to be a successful president, you have to effectively communicate. For example, I've been talking to you maybe for the last 20-25 minutes. I've conveyed maybe 15 points. If you have understood 10 of what I have, 15 points I've said, I'm a great communicator. Believe me, it's very difficult. Now let me share with you a clipping. There was this company which was making tremendous losses, and the managing director of the company called for a board meeting. Just see what he said and what they understood.
What this organization desperately needs is change.
So please remember this, my friend. We think it's easy. You know, why do you, in International Assembly or all Rotary International meetings, even in our gets everywhere, we use audio visuals because we think that will make a better impression. It's very important to communicate effectively. I want to make a request to all of you. Just bring your hands like this. Namaste. Just namaste. Just take it like this and close your eyes. Close your eyes. I said close your eyes. Most of you only followed my hand. So in 10 seconds I proved to you that what you see goes into your brain more than what I am saying here with all the volume in the mic. So please remember, that's why we use audio visuals. It's very, very important. Even, you may be addressing a Rotaract or you may be addressing a RBC. Don't think the kids in the Rotaract we can go and say there something without preparation. It's very important that you do audio visuals so that people will get the message clearly. What speakers fear. There is a saying which says the human brain starts functioning the moment you are born and never stops till you stand up to speak in front of a mic. I'm telling you, as a president, you will find that next year. Every time you go in front of a mic, you will, your tummy will give you a strange feeling, your BP will go up, but slowly you will get used to it. That's a different story. And sometimes, you will also suffer. There was this president in 96, 97 when I went on an official visit to a club in Vellore, 100 miles from Chennai. The evening the meeting started late, and usually in my district, the presidents are a little nervous on the day of the governor's visit. Of course, we governors are also nervous. We don't show that. That's a different issue. Now, this president was very late, very nervous. The meeting started at 8 o'clock in the night. So he went to the mic and said, our district governor, PTP, has been with us since morning. He came to all our projects. He gave us wonderful advice in club assembly, etc. He wanted to say, on behalf of all of you, I want to thank District Governor P.T. Prabhakar from the bottom of my heart. He was so nervous, he ended up saying, we thank District Governor P.T. Prabhakar from the heart of my bottom. And believe me, I run into that guy in every conference. Even today, he has a sheepish smile. He has not forgotten that even after 15 years. So what is this is not coming up to the expectation, making a fool of oneself. So what is the antidote? Prepare well. It's 8:1. If you want to give a 10-minute speech, you have to prepare for 80 minutes. And believe me, no great speech is ever made without preparation. People may come and make speeches and you think they're just doing it off the cuff. It doesn't work. So effective, this I already told you. So be brief. The Declaration of American Independence by Abraham Lincoln was only 250 words, the most important document in the history of mankind. They called 5 professors to make a report on growing mangoes in USA. They made a 2,800-page report after 6 months. In the last page, the conclusion was, you cannot grow mangoes in USA. So that doesn't work. So you have to be brief. And finally, my dear friends, I have come to almost the end of my presentation. I want to tell you, enjoy Rotary. Unless you enjoy Rotary, I have seen the most successful governors, most successful presidents, most successful directors, one of whom is sitting here. They've all enjoyed Rotary. They've enjoyed what they are doing. Then only you will succeed. Recently, one of the past presidents in my district, this guy was a president when I was governor. He saw me in one of the Rotary meets and said, sir, we are completely lost touch. When you were governor, I was president, we were very busy and we never met. Please come home for lunch. So last Sunday, I went to his house for lunch. He proudly introduced his family to me. A wife, Lakshmi. Then he had a first son. First was a son, aged 15. Second was a daughter, aged 14. The third was a son, aged 12. And fourth was a boy, again aged 11. What is this? 15, 14, 12, 11. You believe in numerology, isn't there? There's a gap at 13. The sheepish grin, he said, sir, that was the year I was the president of my Rotary Club, sir. And you were the governor. You gave me no time at all for anything. I was so busy. Let us not do that. Believe me, our priority shall be, number one shall be our vocation. Remember, I've known club presidents, district governors, losing their jobs or their professions at the end of the term. Don't do that because you are in Rotary because of your classification. Number 2 is your family. Just like I've seen presidents lose their jobs, I have known some of them lose their wives. Because every day you go home late, 12 o'clock, you tell them I was in a club board meeting, You are in the bar actually, but that's what you tell your wife. So this doesn't work. So first priority family, second priority is your profession, then comes Rotary. But if you do the first two well, I'm telling you, you will be still a very successful president because your spouse will support you. And my dear friends, this is the blood bank which I had the good fortune of, as a project chairman putting up in Chennai. Today, we are still doing 25,000 units of blood even today, and it saves lives. And I have forgotten, 1996, 97, I got so many garlands, so many felicitations as governor, so many free dinners, everything is forgotten. Today, what I still remember and cherish is this temple of service that God gave me the opportunity to build, which is saving human lives even today. So my humble request to each and every one of you, during your year as club president, please build something of a permanent nature. It need not be a 4 crore blood bank like this. It need not be a 100-bedded hospital. You can all build let's say a toilet in a ladies' school, a poor government ladies' school. You can all build probably a library in a boys' school, corporation school which badly needs it. Do something of a permanent nature, my dear friends, because before you know that time will fly, the year will be gone. Please build something of a permanent nature so that you will always cherish that even years later. And as Winston Churchill said, you all want to be excellent. Excellence is caring more than others think is wise. Risking more than others think is safe. Dreaming more than others think is practical. And expecting more than others think is possible. I will close with what happened. There was this physician, William Osler, 100 years back in the US. He was the most successful physician at that time. Somebody asked him, William Osler, please tell us the secret of your success. And William Osler quoted the 1500-year-old works of Kalidasa from our country, the great Kalidasa. He quoted it in Sanskrit, which when translated goes like that. It says, yesterday was but an empty dream. Tomorrow is but an idle vision. But every today well lived makes every yesterday a great dream and every tomorrow a wonderful vision. So my dear friends, 1314 is about to dawn upon you. Think of what Kalidasa said. Every day must be a well-lived day so that every tomorrow will be a wonderful vision. And together, let us engage Rotary and change lives. May I take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you Godspeed and good luck so that District 301, as usual, shines like a diamond in the firmament of Rotary International. May God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And before I leave the podium, I have a present task to perform. May I request Nalini to join me on stage. Friends, this year, Ramesh Agarwal and Nanda ji have provided inspirational leadership to this entire district. It was exactly 1 year ago, I was in this very hotel for the feds. And 1 year has flown past and they have given this district a great Rotary year as a token of our love and affection. And on behalf of all of you, we would like to give a gift to Nanda ji. And can I ask Nanda ji to come here? Let's give a big hand to me. If you go to any doctor, a famous physician, an expert, great surgeon, they will always say when somebody suffers from an incurable disease, when allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, everything fails. they go to Tirupati, Balaji. So, I have a great pleasure and privilege, me and Nalini, to present this Balaji to Vinod Bansal and Sangeeta. Sangeeta ji, where are you? Please come. Friends, believe me, this couple is going to create history in your district next year. And like Balaji, if you have any problem, go to them, they will solve it for you.
Thank you so much, and let us give them a big round of applause. This was a wonderful session. It was great learning on leadership, interspersed with some excellent illustrations. Thank you, sir. We really enjoy you every time you are here. And friends, there is a small announcement. We are going to merge the two sessions now. We are running a little late. So what we are doing is we will straight away go into the preliminary now. And to do that, I will call on stage my friend, Past President Kapil Gupta, who will be conducting the next session. Kapil, can I have you?
Thanks, Sharon. The best way to start our friends is hearing our dynamic keynote speakers. What a way it was. We have another ace. We are all honored to have with us Rotary International Director, Shekhar Mehta ji. I invite Shekhar ji and Rashi ji to please come on the dais. Request Governor-elect Vinod ji and Dr. Sangeeta to please welcome them with these beautiful, vibrant stones. Friends, please sit down. These stones are filled with love, warmth, and respect. Dear friends, let's give them a big round of applause for the dynamic Rotary leader. I would like to call Anjali Dhingra ji. Please come on the dais. We also have among us Rajni Durana ji. Please come on the dais, please. Let's give a big round of applause. Let's welcome them. Moving forward, let's welcome our visionary, a believer, Governor-elect Vinod ji for his opening remarks.
Friends,
Look, once again over here, may I request all the sergeant at arms to please ensure that all the president-elects and everyone is inside the hall. May I request all the sergeant at arms to please ask all the president-elects to come back to the hall. Friends, we have taken this liberty of combining the two sessions simply because we are falling short of time, and RI Director Shekhar Mehta ji has to go for another function. He is here on our special request, and that is why we wanted to have this session together. It is not only an honor, but a huge privilege for all of us today to see two of the luminaries of the Rotary world in India and internationally here present together on the same stage. It's a rare occasion, it's an honor, and let's acknowledge it with a big applause for all of us. Rotary International Director Shekhar ji and Rashi ji, Rotary International Director-elect E.T. Prabhakar and Nalini ji, all my colleagues on the dais, including District Governor Ramesh and Nanda, and of course, not taking too much time, all my friends, RI officers, ladies and gentlemen. This particular session we had formulated for the service projects, because the emphasis next year must be on doing something meaningful, something more permanent, something which carries the right face of Rotary to every such person to whom Rotary touches, and also to see that what is expected out of Rotary is reflected through the culmination and the successful implementation of those service projects at the grassroots level. But what it takes to do these kind of meaningful projects, what kind of commitment is required to do all those things, is a big question. It is not easy to conceive, to propel a project which has all these connotations of permanence. It needs a lot of commitment, it needs a lot of thought, it needs a committed team, it needs a lot of money, but above all, it needs a great deal of, what should I say, coming from people like you, a great deal of commitment. Because if in case we do not have commitment, we do not have that kind of passion within us to do it, we will not be able to go beyond the drawing board. And friends, the gentleman who is sitting with us and who has just joined us on the stage is one such person. I've seen him discussing the projects like this, but the discussion is the easiest thing. But what I have seen is that twinkle and that sense of confidence in his eyes whenever I have spoken to him, which shows that this man means business. And whatever projects he has discussed, he has brought them on the table, he has funded them, and he has seen that those projects are implemented. He is that man of commitment whom I wanted to come and speak to. That what it takes to have that, what it takes to think like that, what it takes to have a successful completion of what you think. And I will not like to spend too much time talking about those service projects. I will only want to listen like you to see that what it takes ultimately at the end of the day to be successful. And the kind of leadership you're going to assume, it's important that you have that kind of thought. So without wasting too much of time, I will request Kapil to go through whatever formalities there are and spend maximum time listening to this guy whom I admire from the core of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinodji, for setting the tone for the bets. I request our PP Satish Gupta ji to formally introduce RRIB Shekhar Mehta.
District Governor Ramesh Agarwal, DG Vinod Bansal, host of dignitaries, incoming leaders, ladies and gentlemen. First, a quote. You see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. These words are his guidelines, and in reality his dreams could make possible construction of 500 homes for Somali survivors at Andaman and Nicobar Islands. He started the Shelter Kit program, which has served about 16 disasters in India, about 30,000 families, and distributing more than 6,000 kits. Healing the hurts, having done more than 15 heart surgery for children, a state-of-the-art eye hospital at Kolkata. Bloodline, a unique project of blood on phones. And it's not the end. He is dreaming future for 5,000 heart surgery of little children, 50 or more eye hospitals in India, and 30,000 toilets in rural India, and much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than but Rotarian Shekhar Mehta, our Director Rotary International for 2011 and 13. He's a dreamer, a humanitarian, a skilled orator, and having a pleasant personality, and you can go on adding all the good words for him. Member of Rotary Club of Calcutta, Mahanagar, Shekharji belongs to Kolkata. I do not know about the future, but in past all the 3 Rotary International presidents from India have been connected to Kolkata only. Rotarian Shekhar joined Rotary in 1984 and served as district governor in 1999 and 2000. Shekharji has served many international and national level committees of Rotary International, such as training leader at Enham for 2 years, chairman of Kolkata Institute for 2004, member permanent fund committee in India. Rotarian Shekhar is the recipient of Meritorious Service Awards, Distinguished Service Awards of the Rotary Foundation, and Service Above Self Awards. Mr. Shekhar Mehta is a qualified accountant. He is chartered accountant, cost accountant, and company secretary. He heads the Skyline group of companies engaged in real estate development in and outside West Bengal. Shekhar is a member of many professional, social, cultural, and charitable organizations. Shekhar is married to Rashidi. She is also present amongst us. She is past president and past district treasurer of Innerville, who takes keen interest in serving and cultural activities and community activities. She is also a very good orator and is giving speech to many organizations all over. They have 2 children. Son Chirag married to Geeta, now settled in Delhi, and daughter Chandni pursuing MPhil in political science, also in Delhi. Shekharji now devotes a major part of his time for humanitarian program for communities in India and set out some challenging service activities goals. He is never obliging the world. His guideline mantra is service is the rank I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you RI Director Shekhar Mehta and request you to give a rousing welcome to Shekharji and Rashiji.
Good evening, friends. Vinod had asked me to be here on this date. There was some confusion. He wanted me to be here on the date. He wanted. शुरू किया है, माइक चलने दो ना. He wanted me to be here on the 6th, but I could only come on the 5th, and I said, let's drop it. But it so happened that my cousin's daughter is getting married, and I had to come here. And then I said, okay, Vinod, I will be in the city, and I'm so happy that I'm here amongst all of you. If there is one group of people I always like to address the most, more than the conferences, more than the district assemblies, it is this group of people, the presidents and the incoming leaders, because it is they who carry on the work of Rotary. So it's wonderful, Vinod, to be here. और फिर विनोद बुलाए और ना आए ऐसा हो नहीं सकता. कुछ लोग होते हैं ना जिनसे दिल मिल जाता है. Vinod is definitely one of them. शुरुआत हुई, he was my aide. Once करीब 1-1.5 साल पहले की बात है. मैं आया दिल्ली and he was my aide. तो मुझे कोई वीजा लेना था and we had to stand outside the Canadian embassy, I suppose. I told him, you can go. मैं जितनी देर खड़ा रहा वो खड़ा ही रहा वहाँ पर, नहीं हिलेगा. And he ensured thereafter that everything about the visa got done. A small thing, not a major thing, but it leaves an impression in your mind that here is a man who is ready to go that extra mile to do his job, the job that has been assigned to him, and I love such people. The corollary is, I hate people जिसका जो काम है वो नहीं करता है. मुझे लगता है यार तुमको यही तो काम है, तुम्हारा काम ये है, तुम ये नहीं करोगे तो कौन करेगा? So, in Vinod you have an excellent leader, let me tell you, of the entire lot of governors. Each year you have an excellent, a few of them who shine. Vinod and Sangeeta definitely are amongst those who will definitely shine. They are already shining. Yes, yes. मुझे इतना भरोसा आप लोगों को कम है? And I can see the excellent leadership that you are having. Ramesh has had an excellent year. वो तो होना ही था, उसका आगाज किसने किया था? He's having a great year. Wonderful every which way. He's again a person who goes that extra mile, very determined. उसने अगर कुछ काम ले लिया तो करके ही छोड़ेगा, which is wonderful. Both he and Nanda are excellent couple. And उसके बाद में you have Sanjay. Wow, what 3 excellent governors you're going to have. This district is definitely fortunate. I don't know how many districts can say this quality of governors one after the other, and now the 4th one has also been selected, and I'm sure he'll carry on the tradition. Friends, the subject that I'm going to speak to you is where eagles dare. अब क्या है, नाम हम लोग बदलते रहते हैं, अंदर का मैटर सेम रहता है. तो मैं यहाँ आके बैठा, मुझे नहीं मालूम था पीटी किस पे बोल रहा है, और मैं जब देखने लगा तो मैंने कहा ठीक है भाई, अपने माइंड में से हटाने लगा, ये वाली चीज़ तुमको नहीं बोलनी है, ये भी नहीं बोलनी है. करते करते एंड में आया तो मुझे तो लगता है कुछ भी नहीं बोलने की जरूरत है, पीटी ने सब कुछ बोल ही दिया ऑलरेडी. तो राम और श्याम दोनों साथ में पढ़ते थे. जैसा होता है, राम पढ़ने वाला, श्याम कभी नहीं पढ़ता. तो पढ़ते पढ़ते बड़े हुए, कॉलेज गए, राम हमेशा पढ़ता, श्याम कभी नहीं पढ़ता, कभी नकल करके कभी कैसे भी पास हो जाता. इंटरव्यू हुआ, दोनों का इंटरव्यू होना है कल सुबह नौकरी के लिए. रात को राम जोर जोर से अपना सब रिवाइज कर रहा है, श्याम उसी रूम में बैठा हुआ सुन रहा है वो सब. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट डे इंटरव्यू के लिए दोनों को बुलाया कमरे में और सवाल पूछा गया। बोला ठीक है जी, पहले मिस्टर श्याम आप बताइए इसका जवाब। श्याम ने तो कल रात को जो सुना था राम से सारा का सारा उगल दिया वहां पे। राम बैठा बेचारा देख रहे यार, सवाल तो मेरे को वही पूछा, मैं क्या जवाब दूंगा। राम का टर्न आया, राम को वही सवाल पूछा गया, उसने भी वापस बेचारे के पास कोई उपाय नहीं था, उसने वही बात वापस से कह दी। Who got the job?